everyone, it's Kate from The Fold Line and I am back with our last video of 2017, and we thought we'd end with the sew down because that's a nice little one before Christmas. So that is our roundup of stuff that we've seen, sewn, read in the last month or so. And yeah, as it's Christmas, guys, we've made it. We get to go home, we get to relax. I've got a glass of fizz. I'm gonna actually tell you, it is actually 10 o'clock in the morning. But why not? It's Christmas. We're allowed, we can drink at any time of the day now. Silly season is here. Yeah, I'll just have a little quick. Delightful. Tastes even better in the morning. I actually even haven't had breakfast yet, so that's quite a spicy start to the day. Before I get going on all of that, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who's supported us this year. Like, thank you for watching, thank you for reading our blogs, thank you for getting involved, coming to events, and just like cheering us along. We're a tiny little business, and like your support means everything really to us. It's what keeps us like chugging along. We've got some really exciting stuff happening next year, some massive changes happening at the Fold Line, which is going to be amazing. And we, you know, our first and foremost thing is supporting indie businesses. That's why we set this up as an indie business ourselves, supporting other small companies. So yeah, we're really excited about everything that's going to happen next year, and I can't tell you too much. I've got to keep it under my hat. Rachel has told me I'm not under any circumstance allowed to let the cat out of the bag. So stick with us and we'll take you along for the ride. So I'm going to now get cracking with the sew down. So what I'm wearing, I thought, as it's the last one of the year and we've gone past party season and we're now in like slobbing gear. So I am in my Linden, which is like what I live in. I made this a while ago and I've made quite a few of them. So yeah, love it. So I'm going to start with fabric. So I've got some exciting fabric to show you because I just didn't know that I could buy this sort of stuff. So, UK people, Cupro, something that I adore, and it's really hard to find, and it's pretty much the best thing in your life. You need some if you haven't got some. So and it's also very eco-friendly apparently. So that's another good thing. So it's a natural fibre, so it's quite breathable, that you don't sweat in it. It's got a really nice drape to it. I'll show you with this one. It's really lovely and drapey. You can see from here, but it's also got that sort of, can you see like that powder, like almost like velvet. It hasn't got a nap, but that sort of sheen that velvet has. So it is really beautiful to work with. I am in love with it. So I got it from a place in London called Blackbird Fabrics. No, I did not get it from Blackbird Fabrics. I got it from Rainbow Fabrics. I wish I got it from Blackbird Fabrics. Called Rainbow Fabrics in Kilburn. I'll pop a link down to their Instagram. They don't have a website yet, but you can order via their Instagram. So this is £4 a metre, which is so cheap. And I just think you guys should buy it. If you're looking for something, they've got like 5 or 6 colours, and they'll send you a little selection of swatches as well. They told me when I went up there. And yeah, it's just really nice. They're nice guys, and they've got about 5 or 6 colours. So I bought navy, obviously, a light blue and a black. And I've used the black for quite a lot of things actually. I've made a dress and a top already, and I think I'm gonna have to go back and buy some more because, you know, a girl needs fabric. What I've made, so I haven't made a huge amount. I was supposed to be making loads of Christmas presents as we all had, you know, in mind, probably in November, and it just didn't happen. So I made one thing, which was quite cute actually. So this is the new pattern from Cocoon Crafts. She released this as an adult pattern and then changed it so that it's a girl's pattern, and it's called the Chestnut Jumper, and it's so cute. So I made this little sweatshirt for my niece who's obsessed with unicorns, so I'm like literally gonna be her favourite person ever. It's got a little bow detail at the back, which is really sweet. I got this sweatshirting from Fabrics Galore if you want if you want some. I think they still have some. They've also got ones with Bambi on, which is pretty cute. But yeah, that was my little one present I made, which was a bit of a fail, but you know, life's too short at this time of year. Just don't have time to be doing it all. Right, so I'm going to talk about like interesting stuff. So the first one, talking of supporting indie businesses, is Australian company In the Folds has launched a Kickstarter to get her patterns from PDF into print. You will have seen me, I've worn a few of her patterns. I love them. I think her instructions are fantastic. I think she's really super talented. And she launched this Kickstarter at the beginning of December, and she's actually reached her goal, which is so incredible. But if you like her, go and pledge a little bit of money. Do your festive kind of bit of goodwill. You can pledge to get a pattern, or you can just pledge a little bit of money. But I think supporting small businesses, helping them move forward and doing it in a Kickstarter is really interesting. So I'll pop a link down below to her video so you can go and have a look and discover all her amazing patterns. She's also got quite a lot of patterns on her site which are free as well if you want to go and have a little bit of a mooch around on her website. So I think it's really cool, and I think it's really cool seeing businesses grow, and she is someone who I kind of really admire. Her pattern cutting's really interesting. She's got really lovely branding, and it's just a one-woman band doing it all by herself. So it's always nice to support. So up next, talking of new ventures, I'm sure many of you will have seen that Lisa Comfort has done a magazine, which is really cool. Like, it's a really interesting idea. I'll pop a link down below so you can go and have a look. I do have a copy, but Rachel has got it, so I can't like show you it. But I'll pop a picture up of the front cover. Having had a look inside, I can vouch that it's really nice quality. It's beautifully laid out. She had someone who used to work at Molly Makes helping her, so you know that's always a good sign. It's really professionally done. The quality of the paper is really nice, and it also comes with a free pattern. So this magazine has got the Cocoon Coat, which I know lots of people saw and wanted, and I think she just released it as a class. So you can get your hands on it via this. I think it's £15, I think, for the cost of it. I think it's £15. So with the pattern as well, it's quite good value. If you don't want to buy the physical pattern, you can also buy it as a PDF as well, which I think is £8. So that's quite reasonable. You get a magazine and a pattern as well. So yeah, well done, Lisa. That's like a cool new thing. Up next, what else have we got? Yes. So this is just a last minute. If you haven't done your Christmas shopping by now, you're basically in quite a lot of trouble, because I'm filming this a few days ahead. But if you do want a little bit of inspiration, sewing inspiration, I will pop a link to our Christmas gift guide, which we released about a month ago. It's stuff full of like nice sewing related presents, and a few of them are online things. So if you are really last minute and it's like Christmas Eve, you can still buy a couple of them. So yeah, I'll pop a link down below to that. Another interesting thing that I read, so it's an article, and I'll pop a link down below in The Guardian, and it's about Find Cell Work, who Rachel volunteered for. They are a charity based in London that help people who are in prison get back out and work in the community, but they teach them how to sew. So they get paid in prison to make kind of embroider stuff that then gets made into products, which are then sold and then gives back to the charity. So everyone's a winner. It's a really nice and interesting charity, but there's a really interesting article in The Guardian about a quilt that they all did. So they all got to do a block, a block, that's what's called, a block. And it all got put together, and it's really interesting. It's just the stories behind each one, and seeing, it's just really nice. And I think it's quite interesting. This is generalizing massively, but you know, generally it's more women based that are sewing, and it's quite interesting hearing men talk about it and how it's affected their lives. So that was just a little interesting something that I read that I thought you guys might like. Another weird, random, little interesting thing that I found it is, so every year Pantone, who are the colour people, release at the end of the year what they think next year's colour is going to be. And I just thought I'd put a picture up of what 2018's colour is. It's called Ultraviolet. I'm not sure about it personally, but I just thought I'd share. It's very purple. So if you like purple, it's going to be your year next year. If you don't, we're just going to have to buy all the navy stuff now and stockpile, because I think there's going to be a lot of purple on the high street. And if you're thinking about being very on trend for 2018, maybe now is time to buy your purple fabric. This is what I've got. So reading. So full disclosure, we got sent this for free, but I just wanted to show it to you because I really love it. So this is the book, How to Start Sewing. Just to give you an idea, it is enormous. It's £25, and the girl who wrote to us and said, could she send us a copy just for us to have a look at? And we were like, sure. And I wrote back and I was like, this is like one of the most beautiful books I've seen in a long time. And she said that it took her 3 years to write this. And when I show you inside, you're going to understand. So this is essentially a one-stop sewing source book, and I think it is really fantastic. I mean, if you need a book that you're like, oh gosh, how do I do a French seam? How do I, do this? Everything you could ever imagine is in here. So it starts with quite basic terminology. So you can see there's lots of lovely illustrations. It starts with terminology like, this is explaining what the grain line is on fabric and how it works, but it gets more and more complicated, and there's things about how to do, well, just for example, this page, a mitered corner. It's just like, it's quite an academic approach to sewing, and I think if it's nicely laid out, it's well done, and if you're looking for something like a source book that you can have to refer to when you get stuck on stuff, I would really recommend it. I've been reading it now for a couple of weeks, and I think it's really fantastic. I'll pop a link down below so you can go and have a look. I think it's £25, and actually for how much you get is pretty good value. And how cool is the cover? I just love it. I think it's really nice and really modern. And yeah, it's nice to support small people, so well done. That's a beast. Yes, so listening, my last two things. So first thing I think you have to go and listen to, so obviously I'm sure quite a lot of people listen to Radio 4's Desert Island Discs. It's like an iconic radio program, but I just listened to Kelsey Grammer, who is most known as Frasier, this week, and it was a really lovely one and a really heartfelt one and really great music, and he's got the most beautiful voice, so I just think that one is something that you should all should definitely go and have a listen to. The other thing I've decided that I'm going to treat myself to Audible next year so that I can listen to some audiobooks. I can't, like the podcasts, there aren't enough to keep me kind of busy. So I've decided to treat myself. So you get, I think it's £8 and you get one a month. So I would love book recommendations, audiobook ones, because it's all about the person. What I really want to do is just download the entire Harry Potter collection, and I know I'll be happy for like 40 hours, but I probably feel I should like branch out just a little bit to try some other stuff. What else? Oh yes, going back to podcasts. The Blogtacular podcast has started again, which I love. If anyone hasn't come across it, it's well worth listening to. So Blogtacular in itself is a blogging conference in the UK based in London. It happens once a year. But she does these really great podcasts that come out. I think this is her third season of them, and she interviews people in creative small businesses and talks about their story, and it's really interesting. And yeah, and they're people that you kind of want to know about. They're always kind of interesting. So this season has just started, so I think there are 2 out already, and I've obviously gobbled them up because I can't control myself. But yeah, they're well worth checking out, and they're really fantastic. So that is it. I just want to say Merry bloody Christmas. Have a wonderful time off. Turn off your phones. Don't check your email. Like, look after yourself. Eat everything. And yeah, have a really merry time. I think we're going to sort of shut down a little bit. I don't think we're going to be online as much because we just need a little bit of, like, you know, a little bit of quiet time. I've got lots of like nice stuff that I'm going to do at home. I've got some cross stitch, I've got some hand sewing, so I'm going to go home down to Dorset where my mum lives and like just nest in, drink loads, play board games, have a classic Christmas. So yeah, I hope you all have a really lovely, relaxing Christmas, and I'll see you on the other side.